Welcome. In this class, we are going to study about the trading and settlement process in commodities market. That means, how is the trading and settlement process being carried out in a commodities market? While trading and settlement takes place in three stages, that is, order matching mechanism, trade clearing mechanism, and clearing and settlement mechanism. Firstly, looking at the order matching mechanism, in this process the orders either buying or selling has to match with the each other, and then the process will be continued. So let us look at the steps involved in the order matching mechanism. Firstly, trader place their order through a registered commodity broker of the commodity exchange. Secondly, the trader's order is entered by the authorized dealer into online terminal. Thirdly, the order finds its match automatically through the online channel. Next, if it doesn't find a match at that very moment, then it gets stored in the online order book until and unless a similar and opposite order matches it. And at last we have, when two similar and opposite orders, that is one buy and one sell order is matched, then the trade is said to be completed. Next, moving on to the second stage, that is commodity trading system trade clearing mechanism. In commodity market, trade clearing takes place through a registered clearing house of an exchange. Clearing house helps the system to function smoothly and properly by guaranteeing timely settlement, registration of trade and its consequent follow-up, delivery of commodity to the concerned buyer, and simultaneous payment to the seller. And lastly, guaranteeing the settlement of funds in non-delivery cases. Moving on to the third stage, that is clearing and settlement. Clearing and settlement of commodities in the commodity trading system commences only after the end of trading hours. On the expiration date of the contract, processing of delivery matching considers the following. Firstly, location of the order. Secondly, available warehouse capacity. Thirdly, total quantity of commodities that have been already deposited and given to dematerialize. After the completion of these three stages, the delivery matching process comes to an end, and the following steps are to be followed. Firstly, the information on the final outcome of the matching process is to be given to the clearing member of the exchange. This includes the amount of commodities to be delivered or received and amount of unmatched position. Nextly, the unmatched position, either gains or loss, are to be cash settled. After this process, we are left out with the commodity delivery. Now let us look at the process which are to be followed in order to get the commodities delivered. Firstly, the concerned buyer asks its depository participant to deliver the commodity. Next, the depository participant in turn forwards his request to the designated depository. Depository forwards this message to the registrar and then to the transfer agent. The transfer agent in turn verifies authenticity of the request. In case of genuine request, transfer agent passes on the details of the delivery to the warehouse. In the warehouse, they arrange delivery of concerned commodity to the designated buyer only through identification check. Next, talking about the types of settlement. In commodities market, generally we have two types of settlement, that is daily settlement and final settlement. Talking about the daily settlement is a settlement process wherein it is done at the end of each trading day, and it is based on the daily settlement prices. And the daily settlement takes into account all trades, all open positions are mark to mark, whereas on the other hand we have the final settlement. Final settlement is a settlement done on the day of contract expiry, that is on the last day of the contract. Final settlement is based on the due date rate. The final settlement takes into account only trades not closed till the contract enquiry date. Thus, commodity trading system is a self-testing system which functions through a standardized exchange. Possibility of default by participating player is minimized through proper monitoring of the market, strong surveillance system, and implementation of strong risk management procedures. The commodity trading system helps the farmers, exporters, importers, and traders construct their future strategies by giving proper price signals of commodities. Now let us look at the size of commodities market. We are going to study about the sizes in two format. That is, one is the size of global commodities market and the size of Indian commodities market. Firstly, looking at the size of the global commodities market, the trading of commodities includes physical trading of food items, energy and metals, etc., and trading of derivatives. Firstly, in the 5 years, the value of global physical exports of commodities increased by 17%, while the national value outstanding of commodity over the counter derivatives increased more than 500%, and commodity derivative trading on exchange more than 200%. Next, agricultural contracts trading grew by 32% in the year 2007. In the same year, energy grew by 29% and industrial metals grew by 30%. Precious metals trading grew by 3%, with higher volume in New York being partially offset by declining volume in Tokyo. Looking at the size of the Indian commodities market, Indian commodities market have their presence in country for over 120 years, that is more than a century. Trade in commodities has been unorganized in regional markets and local mandis. Trading in future contracts has been permitted in over 120 commodities. Physical commodity market size in India is estimated to be around 25 lakh crore per annum. Major commodities traded in India are gold, silver, crude oil, copper, chana, spices are among the few. The ban on forward trading from mid 60s and prior to ban are to be considered. Next, looking at the steps which are to be followed by an investor while trading in the commodities futures. Firstly, there are three major steps to be followed. Firstly, choosing a broker and then depositing the margin. Thirdly, access to the information and trading plan. Let us look at the choosing a broker. The broker you choose should be a member of exchanges you wish to trade. Other than this, one should keep the following factors in mind while choosing a broker. Firstly, competitive edge provided by the broker, broker's knowledge of commodities market, credibility of the broker, experience of the broker, net worth of the broker, and at last, quality of the broker's trading platforms. Moving on to the step 2, that is depositing the margin. To begin trading, the investor needs to deposit a margin with his broker. Margin requirements are of two types: the initial margin and the maintenance margin. These margin requirements vary across commodities and exchanges, but typically the initial margin ranges from 5% to 10% of contract value. The maintenance margin is usually lower than the initial margin. The investor position is marked to market daily and any profit or loss is adjusted to his margin account. The investor has the option to withdraw any extra funds from his margin account if his position generates a gain. Also, if the account falls below the maintenance margin, a margin call is generated from the broker and the investor needs to replenish his account to the initial level. Moving on to the third and the last step, that is access to the information and trading plan. As commodity futures are not long-term investments, their performance need to be monitored. The investor should have access to the prevailing prices on the exchanges as well as market information that can help predict price movements. Brokers provide research and analysis to their clients. Other information sources are financial dailies, specialized magazines on commodities, and internet. Further, an investment requires his own plan. Moving on to the last concept, that is how actually the commodities market works. So when you buy a future, you don't have to pay the entire amount. Just a fixed percentage of cost is what you have to pay. This is known as the margin. Let us understand this with an small example. You are buying a gold futures contract. The minimum contract size of the gold future is 100 grams. 100 grams of gold may be worth rupees 10,000. The margin for gold set by MCX is 5%. So you only end up by paying rupees 500, which is the margin. The low margin means that you can buy futures representing a large amount of gold by paying only a fraction of the price. So you bought the gold future contracts when it was rupees 10,000 per 100 grams. The next day the price of the gold rose to rupees 12,000 per 100 grams. So 2,000, the excess amount will be credited to your account. The very next day the price dips to rupees 11,500. This means rupees 500 will be debited from your account